Hey guys, welcome back to Lexio. I am your host, Sean Hiller. Where does the Catholic Church stand on vaccines, on vaccinations? Right now, vaccines are a very hot topic in our world, especially in America. If you're watching the United States, as I am in America right now, there's a lot going on with vaccines. Robert Kennedy, the head of the Department of Health, is going after really the abuse of vaccinations, and he's bringing his MAHA movement, Make America Healthy Again. And there's just a lot going on with vaccines. Brings up many questions. Do we totally ban vaccines? Do we totally let vaccinations run rampant? How do we approach this when we're trying to make decisions for ourselves and we're trying to think about the good of others around us? How do we approach the topic of vaccinations? And I think it's very helpful to know what the Catholic Church actually teaches about vaccines. And the Catholic Church actually has a lot to say on the matter. And there's many Catholic social teachings that have great detail to them to help us understand certain situations, whether it be vaccines or another topic. So I thought it'd be great to go through what the church teaches and help us wade through the waters of vaccinations, because there's a lot out there and there's a lot of misinformation out there as well as good information. What should you think about vaccines? And I'm pulling a lot of this information from what the church talks about, from the Catechism of the Catholic Church, from several different encyclicals and documents. Some of those encyclicals include Dignatis Personae, which is from 2008. This was issued by the Congregation of the Doctrine of Faith, really discussing the bioethical issues. We're pulling several documents from the CDF, Congregation of the Doctrine of Faith, to give us the information that we need to know where the Catholic Church stands on vaccinations. So with that being said, let's answer the hottest question from the beginning. Is the Catholic Church against vaccinations? No. The Catholic Church sees vaccines as a potential good, as they're erring more that this could be a good thing. Now, erring more on that side means that they also understand, the church also knows that it could turn into a corrupt thing. It could turn into something that could be bad for people. So they hold their breath saying that this could be a good thing, and they err on that side. The church says that you have a personal moral responsibility to uphold your health, to look out for your own sake, to look out for your own health and the health of your family. And they also, secondarily to this, know that you have a responsibility to the people around you to protect them and help them stay healthy. They understand that. That is the bottom line. I think we can all agree with that. You have a responsibility for the health of yourself, and you have a responsibility to help take care of other people after yourself and your family. You also have the responsibility to not only ensure your health, but make sure that the way in which you are ensuring the health of yourself and your family and those people around you is actually ethical, and it doesn't violate God's moral code. An example of that would be the church does not condone you to use any vaccines or any forms of health that are gotten in a way that's evil. So a way that would be evil would be that you're using something that takes cells from an aborted baby, or using biological agents from aborted fetuses, from babies that were conceived and life was created, and now we're going to take pieces of them to improve our own health. That's a morally ethical failure. Another way that a vaccine could be good in the church's view is that when it actually does aid in the benefit of others around you, because you are a person who should be concerned with the goodness of the people around you, whether it be the moral goodness, the spiritual goodness, or the physical goodness. And that is something that potentially a vaccine could help protect people around you. And we can talk about herd immunity. We can talk about vaccine immunity through the herd. That could be a potential. Now, there's a lot that goes into that, the efficacy of the vaccine, but also how the vaccine's sourced, like we just talked about with aborted fetuses. But also, is the vaccine actually good for you? And this is quite a bit of the discussion that's going on Capitol Hill right now. Are these vaccines actually helping humanity overall, or are they hurting humanity overall? And many things are coming up from these vaccines, mentally handicapping people, from autism to different types of cognitive issues to the actual physicality of it. Some people may be dying from these, and these are all conversations that we need to have, and this is a very nuanced approach. But the church says that in a vacuum, if a vaccine does nothing but create good, does nothing but help people prevent disease, then it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Now we can take the vacuum away and say, okay, if these vaccines actually causing bad things, Then it gets more nuanced. Then you have to talk about, okay, where do we stand on this? And the church doesn't have a statement on that. The church is just giving you moral guidelines of how to make a good decision for yourself or your family, and a decision that would reflect what God wants you to do. The final point I want to cover on this, and this is the big point. This is the big one. This is what a lot of these discussions on Capitol Hill are kind of edging toward. This concept, and I'll just put the question out there in layman's terms. Should vaccines be mandated, or should vaccines be voluntary? We've already established that the church errs on the side of vaccines being a good thing. Vaccines could be a thing that prevents the harm of many people or yourself. But the church holds true to the statement that vaccines should be voluntary. You should be able to choose if you receive a vaccine or not. So this begs the question, should vaccines be mandated? The Catholic Church errs on the side that you should be able to choose whether or not you receive a vaccine based off the evidence that you have, based on the evidence that your doctor has. You should be able to go to your doctor and say, hey, I'm thinking about having this. What is your prescription for this? Is this something you would recommend? And then listen to the evidence that is out there and make a decision for yourself if you want to receive it or not. So you should be able to refuse a vaccine, and you should be able to say, I would like to have this vaccine. That is really the church's stance on it. So in summary, the church is not entirely on the vaccine train. And in fact, the Pontifical Academy for Life has made the statement that you should seek alternatives to vaccine, but in lack of alternatives to protect yourself against something, a vaccine could be a viable option. And that's really where the church stands on it. Like, you can make the decision to receive one, you can make the decision to reject one, but they stand on the fact that you have a moral obligation to protect your health, your family's health, and secondarily, the health of others. And they say that vaccines could be a viable option for that, but you have the choice to receive it or not. So I hope this clears up a lot of what the church stands on. And this is a really hot topic about vaccinations right now. And I always, when a question comes up, I'm always asking, what does the church teach on this? Because I'm going to err on the side of the church, because they've had a lot of time to think about these things. And we have this beautiful social doctrine that helps us parse through some of this difficult information. So I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. It's free to do so, and it helps the channel a lot. I ask you to do that. We'll see you next time. God bless.